Hear me out, man, because I'm about to keep it 100 with y'all like I'm goddamn Benjamin Franklin up in this bitch. You read the title, right? You have incarnated here on the human realm for a higher purpose. Yes, sir, let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up, my guy. You, yes, you, motherfucker, have incarnated here on the human realm of reality for a much higher purpose than you could possibly imagine. You might be wondering, okay, man, what the fuck does that even mean, bro? I was chosen. I have been incarnated here on the human realm for a higher purpose? Well, how high is that purpose? Is it 5 feet high, 6 feet high, 7 feet high, 8 feet high? Well, relax. Relax. Relax, my guy. I'm gonna need you to just take a deep breath. Come on, do it with me. Get yourself grounded because it's time for you boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. So first things first, what you must come to understand along this journey that we call life is that there are layers to this shit, my boy. There are layers to life. And when I'm talking about the layers, I'm talking about the different realms of reality within this material world. The human realm is not the only realm. There's an animal realm, there's a hell realm, there's a hungry ghost realm, there's a God realm. There's all these realms of reality within our very existence. But you, yeah, I'm talking to you, motherfucker, have incarnated here as a human in the human realm for a higher purpose. No matter what society has told you, no matter what you've been programmed with by the Matrix, by the Maya, by the illusion, that tells you that all you are is simply just a brain and body, and that all you were brought here to do is simply just satisfy and stimulate your lower three senses of survival, sex, and status. There is something much deeper to your existence beyond that. Let that marinate in your mind. Let that sink into your psyche, my guy. You are brought here for a higher purpose. However, you've forgotten it. You have forgotten that higher purpose because this purpose doesn't just serve your brain and body. This is a spiritual purpose. This is a spiritual duty. This is your dharma. This is what you've been destined to do. This is what you have been naturally designed by the motherfucking divine to align yourself to. You see, not everybody, or not every sentient being, not every consciousness gets incarnated into the human realm. In your past lives, maybe you were incarnated in a different realm. If you know anything about Tibetan Buddhism, the cycle of samsara, the wheel of reincarnation, you are picking up what the fuck I'm putting down there. But if you don't, let me break it down for you with a short summary. Your consciousness has been moving from life to life, incarnation to incarnation, from form to form, from body to body, like you would take off your clothes at the end of the day. Just like you put on another outfit the next day, that is your consciousness putting on another body, putting on another avatar. That is your spirit, your soul. Your spirit and soul is eternal, but it's stuck in this cycle of forgetfulness, in this cycle of samsara, in this cycle of suffering, in the cycle of spiritual amnesia, due to the fact that you have not realized your higher essence, your higher nature, and you have not accomplished your higher purpose. Your consciousness has been accumulating karma from each and every single lifetime, from every single incarnation. Some of the incarnations you've burnt off some karmas, but most of the time you're just accumulating karma. What is karma? I'm not saying, oh man, if you do good things will happen to you. If you do bad things will happen to you. That's not karma. That's not the one I'm talking about. Karma is the attachments that your consciousness forms to the material world. You can have a karmic attachment to food, to sex, to drugs, to alcohol, to all these degenerated habits that the world shoves down your throat. Pause. To get you addicted to. Because it gives you a little sense of dopamine. It stimulates your senses. But it never truly satisfies you. Your soul is yearning for that pathway to satisfaction, to fulfillment, to liberation. That is your higher purpose. Your higher purpose leads to liberation. Your higher purpose gives you true fulfillment. A type of fulfillment that you have never tasted before by simply just being a slave to the senses. That's what your soul is yearning for, and that's what your life must lead up to. If you truly want to be liberated, if you want to remain a slave to the system, a slave to the matrix, a slave to the Maya, the illusion, and remain stuck cycling back and forth within samsara, going from body to body, from incarnation to incarnation, you need to wake up. Because the human realm is where you can actually achieve that higher purpose. The Tibetan Buddhists state that this realm, as a human, is the most precious realm that you can be afforded to within these cycles of time, the cycles of reincarnation. Because the human realm is the middle point. It's where you start to develop intellect. You see, animals base all their actions off instinct. They are born into compulsion. You are born into compulsion too, but they don't have a way out of it. You know, a dog, a cat, a giraffe, whatever fucking animals in your mind, their main duty and goal revolves around the 3 lower levels of consciousness: survive, have sex to reproduce, and achieve status. But the human realm still has access to that. However, you have the bridge to open up to the higher planes of consciousness. The human realm resides within the heart chakra. That's the plane of consciousness. Every one of these chakras are planes of consciousness, not just random balls floating around in your body, just light balls of light that some people may have pushed onto you that makes it sound woo-woo and wah-wah. No, these are planes of consciousness. When you get into the heart chakra, this is when you become a quote-unquote human. You start thinking like a human. Before that, you can be a human and not think like a human. Matter of fact, 99% of humans don't think as a human from the heart chakra. They're still living life as an animal, a slave to the senses, because that's what the matrix promotes them. They don't tell you that you're an eternal spirit having this human experience. They tell you that all you are is just a brain and body, and they give you a certain script to follow. One that leads to just constant consumption and carnality. That's what keeps this cycle of samsara running. Carnality and consumerism. Carnality is, again, associated with your animalistic instincts: survive, sex, status. The more that they push that on you, because they know these are very, very, not dangerous, but very, very intoxicating compulsions. What do I mean by that? You can get lost in the sauce of trying to get survival accustomed to you. You can get lost in the sauce of that, trying to get more money, more money, more money. You can get lost in the sauce of sex and pleasure. You can get lost in the sauce of chasing status. What do people think about me? I got to get these cars, these clothes, so I can get these hoes. They know that that's like a fire that's it's a source of fire that's very flammable. It's just you touch it, it can consume you. That's the carnal mind. That's your carnal nature. And you add on top of that the consumerism aspect, where they put all these things out in front of you. So you keep coming into that conveyor belt of consumerism. No amount of cars, no amount of clothes, no amount of hoes, no amount of material things will ever truly satisfy you. And they know that. And that's why they put it all out in front of you, because they know they can make you a slave to it, a consumer to it. You're always going to be chasing for more and more and more and more, because it's a bottomless pit. The more that you eat, funny enough, of these things, the less nourishment that you find. And the less nourishment that you find causes you to keep searching more. If I gave you a bag of chips right now and you just did a hard workout, you can rip through that bag of chips like nothing. However, you're still gonna be hungry. Matter of fact, you're gonna be hungrier than you were before because you're searching for real nutrition. And your body's saying, oh man, we ate all this crap, still no nutrition. Let's make him hungrier so he gets more nutrition, but we just give you another bag of chips. And you get hungrier and hungrier and hungrier. That same analogy can be applied to the spirit, the soul. The world puts all this bull crap in front of you, making you think that you're actually having fun, you're actually satisfying yourself. But in reality, you're addicted to it. In reality, you're never breaking free from it. Because that's just stimulating your senses. That's not satisfying the soul. Stimulating the senses is a bottomless pit. This is why there's a quote from Paramahansa Yogananda, a great sage. The man who wrote the autobiography of a yogi. If you don't know about that book yet, man, you are missing the fuck out. Because that's a banger. That's a classic. He states, always fed, never satisfied. But also at the same time, never fed, always satisfied. He ain't talking about fucking food, my boy. He's talking about feeding these lower senses. Always fed, if you're always feeding these things, you'll never be satisfied with the spirit. But if you never feed these things, you'll find the thing that will satisfy you. You'll always be satisfied. This is why when we partake along this journey of self-mastery, what we are doing in the beginning is renouncing. Is no longer being a slave to the senses. Through practices, that we talk about here, semen retention, celibacy, pranayama, fasting, meditation, all we are trying to do is reclaim back the power by renouncing, by saying, no, I don't want to be a slave to this shit. I don't want to be a slave to that. Because right now you are born as a slave. You are born into compulsion. Especially in today's day and age that they call Kali Yuga in the yogic traditions, your consciousness is rooted at the lowest plane. That's your default mode. That's what you've been given from the start. You got to build yourself up from that point. You're starting at ground zero. You're not starting at level 1, level 2, level 3. You're at 0. And to get to 10, you got to go all the 10 steps. You can't shortcut things. And that's why on the human realm, you are afforded that journey. You are afforded that path. In the animal realm, that's the highest point. Survival, sex, and status. So hopefully they can get rid of those karmas and come into the human realm to actually ascend further. That is the journey of the spirit, of the soul. Going from incarnation to incarnation, yearning and seeking for spiritual illumination, where you realize your true nature beyond the brain and body and what it is that you were really brought here to do, so you no longer have any attachments. When you are following your destiny, when you are following your dharma, when you are actually striving for that higher purpose, your need and dependency on the external world starts to diminish. You don't need sex. You don't need status. You don't need any of this shit because you found true bliss within yourself. That's your higher purpose. The higher purpose not only brings you true bliss, but also helps uplift the collective consciousness of humanity because it's natural to you. You don't gotta force it. You are flowing with life. You are going with the stream of the current that we call the cosmos. Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down, man? You, yes, you have incarnated here on the human realm for that higher purpose. You have just forgotten it. And the more that you stay entangled in karmas, the more that you stay entangled as a slave to the senses, the less and less that you're gonna, or better yet, the more and more you're gonna drift away from ever discovering what that destiny is, what that dharma is. You see, the more karmas you have, the further away that you drift away from the dharma. When you dissolve those karmas, you get closer and closer to your dharma. That's what this journey of self-mastery is about. If you truly want to experience the higher essence, the higher bliss of what the human realm, what the human experience can possibly offer you, you must master the human vessel. You must master the human mind. Because again, you are not this body. And you are not the brain. Let me say that again. You are not this body and you are not your brain. You are the eternal spirit, the Atman, the soul that animates the flesh and activates the brain. Animates the body and activates your psyche. That's your true essence. And that true essence doesn't care about how many cars you got, clothes you got, how many hoes you fucked. It don't care. I'm not saying don't get nice cars, don't get nice clothes. Don't go talk to nice hoes, whatever you want. But what I'm saying is, if you make that your peak pinnacle point of life, you are simply just downgrading what this human experience can offer you. You're essentially getting the opportunity to tap into higher realms of reality, but you're just subjugating and just opting for the lower levels of life. And if you opt for the lower levels of life, the universe will reciprocate that energy when you get stuck back on the wheel of samsara, when you get stuck back on the wheel of reincarnation. If it's saying, hey man, you want to live like a fucking animal, even though I gave you the opportunity as a human to transcend beyond that, cool, bro. Go as an animal again. Come back as an animal again. You're not taking this shit seriously. And I'm not affording this blessing to each and every single consciousness for the time being. You know, out of the 4 million sperm cells in your dad's motherfucking nutsack, you were the one that made it through. You. Yeah, you. Don't take that lightly. Do not take that lightly, my boy. That's for a specific reason. That's for a specific purpose. And it don't matter how much the world has told you just do this, do that. I'm telling you right now, I'm standing here in the field and in the flesh to let you know, you, no matter where you're from the world, no matter your past, no matter where you're at currently, you have came here on the human realm for a higher purpose. And as I say that, you see the AC-130s, the helicopters are on my ass. The feds is on my ass because they know I'm speaking the truth. You came here for a higher purpose, man. No amount of external achievements will ever even come close to tasting what the divine bliss that will be produced from discovering that dharma and destiny. Nothing in the external world, bro. Spiritual ecstasy, that's the feeling that you will get when walking on this path. And you already know what the path is. You already know, but you just forgot it. Imagine one day you try to go on your phone and you just forget the code. You know the code, but you've forgotten it. That's what's happened. You know deep down what's that code. What's the code to unlock your consciousness past these lower levels of reality and back into the higher faculties? Because your dharma is right there waiting for you inside of that phone. And your destiny, your dharma on the actual human realm is waiting for you in your higher faculties. The more that you're rooted in your lower planes of consciousness, the Muladhara, the Svadhisthana, the Manipura, the more that you're going to be searching for things to satisfy you, but you're going to always fail at it. Because again, you have to look deeper. Yes, stimulating the senses might be good for the body. You might feel like you're winning, but you're not an animal. That's why you still feel depressed. That's why you still feel anxious. Billionaires who got all the money, who got all the cars, who got all the clothes, who got all the hoes, still self-delete themselves on a day-to-day basis. Come on now, man. The feds after me from speaking the truth. The hell going on? Let's take a quick pause. It looks like I made it out alive, man. But like I was saying, billionaires delete themselves on a day-to-day basis when they got all the material achievements. Why? Because they still feel that void, that emptiness. No amount of these material external achievements will ever fill that void. That is your higher purpose. That is your higher duty. That is your dharma. That is your destiny. You have a purpose that you just naturally are gravitated towards. It doesn't matter what comes with it. And it comes to a great quote from the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna tells Arjuna that you have the right to perform your obligatory duties. You have the right to pursue your destiny, to pursue your dharma. but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. You don't do your dharma just because you'll get fame, just because you'll get money, just because you'll get status, just because you'll get sex. You do it because that is what you are destined to do. And if you focus on that, everything else will fall into line. This kind of goes into a quote from the Bible. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything else shall be given to you. That kingdom of God is not just some fucking shit in a book or like just in the world. It is the real self. Seek ye first your true self, your true purpose, your true destiny, your true dharma, and everything else shall be given to you. You have been blessed as a human. You have been blessed as the one single sperm cell that made it through the race, through your dad's nutsack to get to your mom's egg. And now you have the opportunity to transcend to the next realms of reality, the next realms of consciousness. Don't waste this incarnation on spiritual degradation. Do not waste this incarnation. Do you hear what I'm saying? Don't waste it. Focus your efforts towards spiritual liberation. Because even if you don't want to be some woo-woo spiritual hippie, I understand. They all sound like they fucking crazy. But if you just want to have the best life possible, even on the material world, without even trying, without even chasing for it, the most natural life that you can live, the most destined life that you can live, you must follow this dharma. You have the free will to follow that fate. But most people will never truly understand that, because they've been stuck as a slave to their senses. They've been programmed by society to chase lower level pleasures. The only way for you to discover that dharma, to discover that destiny, is by first dissolving the karmas that are in the way and blocking you, making you forget. Remember what I said. You know that code to the phone, you just forgot it. You gotta wake up. You got all this brain fog. That brain fog is karma. Waking up is like going into that cold shower. That is the path of self-mastery. Self-mastery is what dissolves those karmas. Because you don't gotta figure out your dharma. It's already there. You just gotta dissolve the karmas that are in the way. I always bring up this analogy. The sun is always out. Don't matter if it's raining, snowing, or cloudy. If you didn't know, well, now you know. When you go outside and it's cloudy, the sun is still there, my boy. Even when it's nighttime, the sun is still out, just on the other side of the world. That is your dharma. That is your destiny. That is your true self. It's always there, and it will always be there. It's waiting for you to dust out all that karma. You know, remove the clouds, remove the snow, remove the rain that's blocking the sun. It's waiting for you to do that. And the way you do that is through the path of self-mastery. Stopping the compulsive habits that make you a slave to the senses and create more karma. Because the more that you indulge in a compulsive manner to this carnal mind and the consumeristic world, the more karmic cords that you develop. And these karmic cords act as anchors that pulls your consciousness to the lower planes. Your consciousness wants to rise up. Because the more it rises up, the closer it gets to its dharma. The closer it gets to its dharma, the more it feels aligned with the divine. The more your life becomes worth living, where you don't need porn, drugs, alcohol, sex to feel anything. That's what most people are doing. They're hiding and numbing themselves out from depression, from anxiety with these degenerated habits. All your friends that are drinking at the clubs, this and that, trying to chase girls, they're not fucking happy with their lives, and they're slaves to their senses. I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to be a slave to anything. But that requires sacrifice. I want to taste true spiritual ecstasy, but that requires sacrifice. And that sacrifice is going beyond the brain and body, breaking past your paradigms, breaking past all the programming that is keeping you stuck within the cycle of samsara. You have the opportunity right now, right here in the human realm, to make that happen, my boy. But you got to walk up this mountain of self-mastery firsthand for yourself. Walking up the mountain requires you to sacrifice, to let go of attachments. And that's what we talk about here on this channel. the main channel, The Philosopher. If you don't know about the main channel yet, man, you're missing the fuck out, boy. You are missing the fuck out, because that's where we're cooking all of our in-depth documentary style content, nice, clean cut, edited. If you like the raw talks, we're out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains, no cuts, no edits. That's what we cooking up over here on this second channel, The Philosopher Files. But I'm talking about the main channel, The Philosopher. That's the OG. If you don't know about it yet, man, well, now you know. The link to the main channel is posted in the description box down below. Click that link, you'll be right posted onto our main channel, where you can get up on a lot of game, a lot of sauce about all these different types of topics that we discuss here. But again, I'm just speaking off the dome. If you want some more clean cut, research, edited, visually stimulating content, that's a journey, that's an experience, that's what we got over there, man. The main channel, The Philosopher. But again, all this stuff that we talk about here on the main channel, again, description box down below. And under the description box, where you'll find the main channel, is a link to my Instagram. If you ever want to talk about these different types of topics, chop it up about these different types of concepts, my DMs are always open. Hit your boy up. Hit your boy up. My Instagram is right there for you. But again, all that good stuff, description box down below. But all this stuff that we talk about, also on the private Patreon community. Matter of fact, let's take a quick pause right there, because I need to give a quick shout out to the fucking private Patreon community. Look, if you're someone who's truly serious about this path of discovering that higher purpose, discovering your divine purpose, and you're devoted to walking up this mountain of self-mastery, you're about that life, you're a spiritual savage, you're a real spiritual aspirant, and you have not joined up into the private Patreon community yet, man, I'm gonna need you to pause whatever you're doing right now. I'm serious. And go find the closest mirror to you. I don't care if it's in your car window. I don't care if it's in your bathroom. I don't care if it's in the selfie camera of your phone. I need you to take a good, hard look in that motherfucking mirror, my boy. Come on, I'll wait. I'll wait. Take a good, hard look. Really get a nice mental picture of that man that's staring right into your eyes and staring right into your soul when you look into that mirror. Get a good click-clack Kodak moment. Let it marinate in your mind. Let it sink into your psyche. Because I need you, yes you, to realize that you're doing that guy, not me. The person that's staring right into your eyes and staring right into your soul when you look into that motherfucking mirror, a huge disfavor by not joining up into the private Patreon community. If again, you're someone who's truly serious about this life. Because most people who are this far into the video, my bad, I'm guessing you about that life. You about that journey. Most people already clicked off by now. So I'm talking to the real devotees, the real spiritual aspirants, the real divine masculine men. If you are ready to uncover your true essence and what it is that you were really brought here to do, what's going to give you the most fulfillment in life and also help uplift the collective consciousness of humanity to the best of your ability, then what you doing, bro? Then what you doing? If you're one of those people and I jump into the private Patreon community, you are missing out, because we are truly uncovering the esoteric science of self-mastery in depth and in detail in ways that you have never imagined before over on the private Patreon community. I'm talking about exclusive videos that you ain't gonna find on this channel, you ain't gonna find on the main channel. Matter of fact, you ain't gonna find it anywhere else on the internet, because we are really cooking some real deal game for your motherfucking brain to help you on every single plane you dig what the fuck I'm saying. If you're someone that's really about that life, I'm telling you, bro, if you're enjoying this, your mind is gonna be blown with what we're cooking up over there. Because not only do you get access to all the exclusive videos, but also our full guides, our in-depth occult lectures, our digital libraries, and most importantly, the Philosopher's Circle, aka the inner circle community that we got over on the Patreon, where we got a private group chat and our bi-weekly mastermind live calls. We hop on a call with me as well as a community of like-minded men who are also on this path of self-mastery. If you want to be surrounded with rare individuals just like yourself, who are also on the same journey, walking up the same mountain with you, because again, we're all walking up the same mountain, but starting on different points. You might be starting over there. I might be starting over here. You might be taking that route. I might be taking this route. At the end of the day, we're still walking up towards the same peak, the road to self-realization, aka discovering who you truly are, discovering your destiny, discovering your dharma by dissolving those karmas. That is how you get up this mountain of self-mastery. Going beyond your compulsive nature, taking back control over your mind and body through the power of the soul. If you want to be surrounded with individuals like that are going to help hold you accountable along the journey, that are going to help to keep you elevated, who want to see you elevate, and eventually want to see you liberate, I'm telling you, man, the Philosopher's Circle is the place for you, my guy. I can 100% guarantee you that. Because again, if you are about this life, you got to realize the quote that you've probably heard before: you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. If you're hanging around slaves, if you're hanging around NPCs, if you're hanging around people that are stuck within the cycle of samsara and you want to break your way out of this bitch, you got to shift your environment. And this is a sacred place just for that. But if you need any more information about the Philosopher's Circle and the private Patreon community as a whole, check out the link posted in the pinned comment this video, not the description box. Again, the description box is where you'll find the link to the main channel, The Philosopher, as well as my Instagram. I'm talking about the pinned comment. Just go in the comment section, scroll down, and you'll see that link posted right there for you. Click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page, and from there you can get access to joining the private Patreon community, The Philosopher's Circle, and you can get all the other links right there in front of you to the other services I provide, such as application forms for my personalized coaching program. If you're someone who's truly serious and ready to take your life to the next level when it comes to the journey of self-mastery and want to work with me, mano y mano, one-on-one, that's what this coaching program is all about. Making and designing and systemizing a personalized approach to this journey of self-mastery for you to disintegrate, dissolve, and detox from all the degenerate habits that are causing these karmic cords to pull your consciousness down to the lower planes and make you live in this cycle of being a slave to the matrix, being a slave to yourself. If you're ready to break free from that, taste a little bit of spiritual ecstasy, discover your divine potential, what truly will bring life to your life. That's what this coaching program is all about. Dissolving those karmas to discover your dharma by creating a systemized approach, personalized for you. But if you just want to book a one-time call with your boy, discuss anything that you're dealing with to help you get back on the right track, that's what we got the consultation calls for too as well. Again, all that good stuff is going to be posted in the pinned comment of this video. Just click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page, and you can pick and choose which one of these services best suits you. But like I was saying, all this stuff that we talk about here on this channel, on the main channel, especially on the private Patreon community, god damn, what the fuck is that? God damn. But especially on the private Patreon community, and especially inside of my coaching program, is all about mastering this human experience. No longer being a slave to your compulsive nature. No longer being one who creates more and more karmic cords that keeps your consciousness stuck in the root in those lower planes, searching for dopamine instead of actually striving for divine bliss. Let me say that again. When you're stuck rooted in your lower planes of consciousness, you are stuck chasing for dopamine like a junkie. But when you transcend beyond that through the path of self-mastery, you start to strive towards divine bliss. One drop of that divine nectar, I'm telling you, my boy, gonna give you real spiritual ecstasy. The best drug that you've ever tried in your life. Because this is all from within. This is when you live aligned to the design of how the divine has created your life. You become a vessel, an instrument of light. This is your natural state. Everyone's natural state. It might look different. Your dharma, your destiny might be to become a doctor. Your destiny might be becoming a YouTuber. It could be a businessman, an artist, a musician. It don't matter. Nobody knows your dharma, by the way. You only know it. The divine has designed it. It's encoded into your nature. You just got to unlock it once again. You just forgot it. You need to dissolve the karmas in the way, and you'll stand right in front of your dharma. This is what you've been missing out on your entire life. Because as a human, you have access to this. This is your higher purpose. You have access to this. You have the ability to strive for this. Don't waste this incarnation. Do not. Nobody knows that Dharma, and nobody's going to master the self but you. I don't know your Dharma, your dad don't know your Dharma, your mom don't know your Dharma, nobody knows it. But what I do know for damn sure is how to dissolve your karmas. And what I'm telling you right now, better wake you up. It better wake you up. Because you don't know when it's your time to go. You don't want to be on your deathbed, be like, God damn it, that dumbass that I saw on YouTube last week, last month, a couple years ago, he was right. You don't want me to prove you right. I'm not here to be like, oh man, I'm right. What I'm saying right now, remember, has all been said and done. Focus on the message, not the messenger. I might be that conduit, that source for you to actually get this cosmic information, this cosmic knowledge. Because I always say this, my Dharma, my destiny for the time being is to help revive the ancient wisdom and ancient knowledge of the past. The true awakened sages have left us the blueprint for how mankind can achieve these states of divine bliss. I'm not here recreating the wheel. I'm here reviving this knowledge, making it more practical and applicable for the modern man to follow and actually plug into his life, to see the fruits of what his journey of self-mastery can possibly blossom. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 9, there is nothing new under the sun. Focus on the message, forget about the messenger. I might be the only way breaking this bitch down for y'all to understand what I'm saying, but just understanding it ain't enough. I need you to understand it. Understanding is up in the mind, that's knowledge. Understanding resides in the heart, that's gnosis. A divine source of knowledge that is only accessed through first-hand experience. If you want to turn this knowledge into gnosis, you got to get out there in the field. You got to get out there in the flesh, because you have the chance to do it. You've came here as a human, on the human realm. You've incarnated within this plane of reality, this plane of existence, to actually experience the higher essence of life. It's like you got a free coupon to go taste out all these great foods at a 5-star restaurant, and you're still sitting your ass in fucking some fast food, garbage place, Taco Bell. Like, bro, you got the ability to go to these higher level restaurants. Yeah, you're still subjugating yourself to this because you're addicted to that food, because you're addicted to lower level pleasures, because you're addicted to being a slave to your senses. Break out of that. Become a savage. Take off these chains. These psychological chains of karma that is keeping you stuck rooted in your carnal nature. Stop being a consumer to this fucking facade. There's more to life than what you just see. There's more to life than what society promotes to you. There's more fulfillment waiting for you. Matter of fact, you haven't ever felt fulfillment. You've just felt some dopamine. You've never felt divine nectar. So why just subjugate yourself to that? Because you're used to it, because everybody else is doing it? That's how the Matrix and Maya works. It programs this script into everybody's psyche. And you don't want to be the one that breaks out of it. Because it takes sacrifice. It takes a lone path. That's why you don't got to go the lone path. That's why we got the Philosopher's Circle. That's why we got these things like the coaching program. You know for a fact, if you made it this far into the video, I always say this, the people that watch this channel in specific, the Philosopher Files right here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? No cuts, no edits, just straight up speaking off the dome. You're in the 1 percentile of the population. Due to the fact that you don't got brain rot. You can watch a video for this long. And you add on top of that, the density of these topics that we discuss. If you made it this far into the video, there's a reason for it. It's resonating with you. It's not because of me. Focus on the message. Forget about the messenger. The message resonates with your soul. You're at the point of your consciousness. You've matured enough, psychologically speaking and spiritually speaking, maybe due to the fact that you've dissolved karmas from past lifetimes. I don't know. But you're put in a position to actually grasp these high-level concepts that will be the keys to your soul's liberation. But it don't mean shit if you just listen. You got to actually walk up this mountain. If you want divine nectar, you got to walk up this mountain. If you want to achieve your higher purpose, you got to walk up this mountain. If you want to experience the higher planes of reality, you got to walk up this mountain of self-mastery. If you don't, you probably would have already clicked off this video. You're probably okay with being a slave to your senses. Pornography, junk food, hookups, all that stuff might be okay enough for you. You're okay with just eating the junk food. But if you're willing to stop eating the junk food, not eat the chips, wait a little bit to get some real nourishment, it's gonna take time, it's gonna take sacrifice, but I promise you, it's the best decision you'll make in life, because this brings you back to your natural state of alignment, who you were really brought here to be, what you were really brought here to do. Instead of letting society, somebody else tell you, you follow the encoded dharmic DNA that has been designed by the divine. Only the human realm has access to this. The animals don't. So you cannot waste this human incarnation on spiritual masturbation, just listening to what I say and not actually acting about it. Because you've probably heard about this topic before when it comes to self-improvement. The people that watch all these videos, read all the books, but never take action, they're called mental masturbators. Well, I'm calling you, yes, you motherfucker, if you're not taking up this journey of self-mastery, going beyond your compulsive nature, you're a spiritual masturbator. You might know everything, but you don't know it. You might have the knowledge, but you don't got the gnosis. You might understand it, but you don't understand it. So what does it matter? This human realm has much more to offer you than just survival, sex, and status that society just promotes to you. There's more to your existence than just the brain and body. There are interdimensional states of bliss that are waiting for you to wake up to it. But you got to be willing to actually take that leap of faith into the unknown. The world won't help you along this journey. You can only master the self. Yes, of course, with some of the things that I'm building on my end, we got the private community, we got the coaching program to help guide you along that journey. But again, at the end of the day, it's you realizing yourself. We have places, of course, to help propel you on that journey. But at the end of the day, you got to take up that step to master yourself, to discover that higher purpose by, of course, dissolving those karmas so you can finally discover that dharma. Nothing in this world, no amount of fucking external achievements will ever replace this. This is what you've been looking for, and this is the facade you've been fed. Now you know. You can't be like, oh man, I had no idea. Now I broke it all down for you motherfuckers. But what's the next move? That's a real question. You can watch the next video after this, the next video, the next video, the next video, the next video, the next video. But if you're not willing to actually take upon the journey, you're not actually willing to sacrifice, you're not willing to actually say no to these things that are causing you to be a slave to your senses. Of course, using practices of celibacy, meditation, pranayama, fasting to go beyond your compulsive nature. If you're not willing to do that, you know the mountain is up there, but you're just gonna sit there with your dick in your hand doing nothing about it. You know, goddamn man, it'll probably look sick up at the top. But I'm too lazy to get up it. I'm too nervous to get up it. I'm too much of a slave to walk up this. That's pathetic. Grow a pair of balls and meet me at the top, my boy. Because you have incarnated here on the human realm for a higher purpose. You got to get up to the highest point to find that higher purpose. But I promise you, even though the journey is not going to be easy, it's going to bring true spiritual ecstasy. Let's end it off right there, man. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out that game so you guys can make these gains. I'm out of here. Peace.